Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my behind the scenes for my Witcher 3 medley. I was so excited to make this video because The Witcher 3 has become one of my all-time favorite games. I loved playing through it. I think the game is just amazing in terms of the story, the music, the gameplay, everything about it. It's just totally my type of a game. I tend to really like RPG style games, and this one just really blew me away. I really can't remember a time where I was more impressed with the game just in terms of the detail and everything that went into it. Like seriously, one of my favorite games, like I said. So if you guys haven't checked it out and you like those types of games, I highly recommend it. I'd actually never heard of the Witcher series, either the books or the video games, before I saw a lot of you guys requesting that I do something from The Witcher 3. So really appreciate you guys telling me about it. I decided to check it out because when a lot of people are requesting a certain song or something from a certain game, then I'll definitely always take the time to check that out and see if it's something that I want to cover. And with The Witcher 3, my husband and I had just gotten a PlayStation 4 and he wanted to get Bloodborne. Didn't really look like my type of game, so I decided I would get The Witcher 3 as my game, and as soon as I started playing it, I just fell in love with it and really couldn't put it down for a couple of weeks. I played through the entire thing. Of course, I didn't get all of the quests finished and whatnot, but did a pretty thorough job, got the main story finished, and then I decided it was time for me to do a music video for it because I loved it so much. So I talked to my friend Landon Donahoe, who's done a lot of my other videos in the past, and we decided we were going to do a video trip to Wyoming, and we shot 4 videos during that trip. One you guys have already seen, that's my Sword Art Online cover. So we shot that one, 2 Zelda videos, and then this Witcher 3 video on that trip. For the Witcher 3 medley, we only had 1 day to film it, so it was pretty tough. The location scouting took quite a while for this video because Landon needed a really specific type of forest in order to make the arrows work well. He did all of that as visual effects. He did that all himself. Very impressed with that. I didn't exactly know how it was going to turn out, and I was just running through the woods kind of pretending that I was dodging arrows, and he knew exactly how he wanted to put things together afterwards, so he had the vision, and I think it turned out really great. A lot of these shots were actually really tricky to get because everything had to be perfect in order for it to kind of line up the right way. So we had to review the footage quite a bit before we actually moved on to the next shot, because a lot of the times we felt like we had gotten the right shot, and then when we watched it back, I wasn't actually even in the frame, or it was off just enough to make it not work, so we had to redo it a lot. It was also just really hard for Alan to control the Ronin in general because it's this big bulky device, and it's really easy to just kind of knock it a little bit with your leg, and then the whole thing just gets off and you have to start all over again.
And 3, 2, 1, action. No worries.
Landon and Alan were switching off with the Ronin because it was getting so heavy with the camera on there as well. And at one point we did some really tricky shots where you see me face to face with the camera, and Landon was actually running backwards while I'm running towards him, and we're in this forest that has all this ground coverage, all these stumps and branches everywhere that you could trip on easily, and trees everywhere too. So a couple of the times he almost ran right into a tree, so you'd see me in slow motion yelling, "Stop, stop." So we had to be really careful with that too, so we didn't want anyone to get hurt. And it was really hard running in that forest, honestly. I know it doesn't sound like it would be that hard, just kind of running around, but there was so much ground coverage.
There's another pothole right here. I'll just have to watch out for it.
Stuff everywhere that could kind of trap you, and I actually fell really bad 2 times. The first time I kind of just rolled out of it, and the second time we actually had to stop filming and we had to end doing all of the running shots because my foot went into a hole that no one could see, and I kind of just collapsed right on top of my ankle, and I thought I broke it at first. It hurt so bad, but thankfully, we just took about 10 minutes to lay there and take a moment to recover, and I could still walk on it. It hurt, but we couldn't do any more running. But thankfully at that point we had gotten all of the running shots that we really needed, and then we moved on to the next shots. So we went to location number 2 at that point, which was actually the opening sequence when I'm playing Geralt's theme. So we decided to film all of the opening and then the middle violin performance shots at that particular location. And then once it started getting darker, we went back to the forest location and then did the very end of the video, and we wanted it to be really dark so that Landon could add those visual effects at the end where it looks like the forest starts on fire a little bit and my eyes are glowing and all of that. And it was actually kind of scary being in the woods that late at night. There were no parking lot lights or anything on anywhere, so it was completely dark. We actually heard some really large animals walking through the forest while we were out there. Some really funny clips actually of me getting scared.
And action.
What was that?
So we got a little freaked out there at the end and decided that we were done for the evening, and thankfully, once again, we had gotten pretty much everything that we needed to make a good video. For the music, I decided to do two different themes. I decided to start with Geralt's theme, or it's kind of recognized as one of the Witcher main themes as well, and then moved into Hunt or Be Hunted, which is probably one of the most recognizable battle themes in the game. I created the backtrack on my computer. I work in Logic Pro X, and I do everything on a MIDI keyboard. And then I record my violin parts here in my home studio. I was so excited to release this video because on top of just really liking how it came out, I also finally was able to tell you guys that I had done some of the violin solos for the new expansion for The Witcher 3, and that was Hearts of Stone. I love being able to do some recordings for the video game industry because I play these games and I love the music. That's the whole reason that I started my YouTube channel to begin with, was my love for this type of music. And so now the fact that I get to be on some of these soundtracks myself is just so incredible. It's something that I never thought I would be able to do. So I'm just really grateful when I get to have those types of opportunities. It's really exciting for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my music video for The Witcher 3, and I hope you liked watching this behind the scenes. See you guys again soon.